I have been blessed enough to be doing this for a while. And if you've been watching All Hustle, No Fear, you know that one of the things that I've been trying to do is to get different people on that are pillars in the community, people that are changing, because I want not only us to have those fun conversations, but us to also have those adult conversations that we need to have. And so in a few minutes, calling in will be Senator Reverend Raphael Warnock.
Yeah. Oh, perfect timing.
All right, go ahead. Let's go. Hello. This is All Hustle, No Fear. Who's calling?
This is Raphael Warnock.
Hello. Your timing is amazing. Like, you're like Batman. I literally just said your name and you called perfectly. I love it.
Someone should have told you I am Batman.
We figured it out.
All right, see, you're never supposed to tell. Well, good morning, Senator. Thank you for joining us, and I know your time is limited. The poll suggests that you are anywhere between a 3-point and 7-point lead against your Republican opponent. And we just wanted to ask some questions of you just so that we can hopefully get a new demographic of people who haven't voted before in this election to know who you are, so we can, hopefully get some people voting for you.
Sounds great.
Yeah, let's do it.
Awesome. Okay, so we know that your opponent is former NFL athlete, and he's backed by former President Trump. What's it going to take for you to fend off this challenger?
Listen, representing the people of Georgia in the United States Senate is the honor of my life. Georgia stood up in an amazing way, and as a result of that, we passed the single largest tax cut for middle and working class families in American history. It's called the Expanded Child Tax Credit. And most recently, we were able to cut costs for hardworking Georgia families through the Inflation Reduction Act, which caps the cost of prescription drugs for seniors. And the provision that I put on the bill caps the cost of insulin for folks who are on Medicare. That's a big deal in a state where 12% of the adults have diabetes. A lot of children, in fact, have diabetes. And I continue to do that work. And I'm glad that I was able to push the president not only to do student debt relief, but to target it particularly for those who are Pell Grant eligible. I wouldn't be where I am if someone hadn't given me a Pell Grant, low-interest student loan. Too many of our kids have a mortgage before they have a mortgage. And they need someone in the Senate fighting for them. I know what it's like. And I think it's important for people to exercise their vote.
What do you feel about the Republican counterparts, what they're saying as far as the $20,000, how they're basically saying it's a giveaway and we're just going to be lazy about it?
Well, these folks had nothing to say when they were giving a $1.7 trillion tax cut, mostly to the 1%. This is about giving a break to ordinary folks, hardworking people. And this is about helping folks who graduated not only from a 4-year college, but from a technical school, from a vocational school, those who are Pell Grant eligible. You know, I'm the first college graduate in my family, and so this is not theoretical for me, and it's not even political. It's about giving people a chance. And when we do meaningful student debt relief, I think it will help us with entrepreneurship. It'll increase home ownership. And it'll be a net gain, certainly, for our economy.
One of the things that here at All Hustle, No Fear that we talk about often are the different laws when it comes to the decriminalization and the declassification of cannabis. Right now, we've been paying attention to the Marijuana Opportunity Reinvestment and Expungement, or the MORE Act. We know that it would remove the list of federally controlled substances and would expunge the records of those arrested and convicted for marijuana crimes, and it would also allows states to set their own rules on pot and levy a 5% tax on marijuana and use those to aid communities harmed by the war on drugs. What is your position on the MORE Act, and what is your position on cannabis in general?
Well, this is an issue that I've seen, first of all, in my ministry, and I've seen it close up. I've been there with families, and I've seen what happens when our young people are trafficked through our criminal justice system as first-time, nonviolent drug offenders. And often the criminalization and the enforcement of marijuana ends up doing much more damage to our communities than the drug itself. So we need to make sure that there's justice for nonviolent, low-level offenders, and I'm focused on that.
All right. Awesome. One thing that I would like to ask you, because as I said, we are all hustle, no fear. I was just looking up the statistics, and there have only been 11 African American senators, with you being the most recent one, and Kamala Harris relinquishing her position to become vice president. What do you think we need to do to change this, and how can we reach more of our young people to go for seats in higher office?
Well, sometimes people see someone like me sitting in the United States Senate, and they haven't seen the journey that it took to get you there. So I want the young folks who are listening to me now to know that you're not just listening to a United States Senator, but you're listening to someone who grew up in public housing, who was a free lunch kid, who was an alum of Head Start. And I just stay focused, and I want to encourage folks to get involved. Public service is a noble thing to do with your life. And I want to encourage people to get engaged. Folks who say your vote doesn't count, need to think about what we were able to achieve this Congress. Ketanji Brown Jackson wouldn't be sitting in the Supreme Court had we not did what we did in Georgia. And so your vote is your voice. Your voice is your human dignity. Make sure you register to vote. Make sure everybody around you is registered to vote. Is so critically important.
So one last question that I want to ask you, and then I'm going to go ahead and let you go, because I know your time is very valuable and you've got things to do. A lot of people that listen to us right now, if we were going to the polls, or when we do go to the polls, a lot of times you get that black vote. We voted for Obama because he's black. In this situation, with you and your opponent both being black men, what is going to cause us to say, especially those people who don't vote for Senate? We have people who'll come out and they'll vote for mayor, they'll come out and they'll vote for president, but for representatives, congressmen, Senate, dog catcher, they don't show up. I really want to give you just one more good chance to just give them a reason to come to the polls in November, and why they need to show up, why it's so important, and why the black vote is so important.
Listen, the difference between me and my opponent could not be more stark. And this race is about who's ready to represent the people of Georgia in the United States Senate. And so I'm proud of my record as someone who expanded the child tax credit, the largest tax cut for middle and working class families in American history. I'm proud of my work to cap the cost of prescription drugs for folks who are struggling, to push the president to do meaningful student debt relief, and to continue to work to make sure that everybody has access to health care. I'm proud of my work around creating jobs in this state by passing the CHIPS and the Science Act. So this is important work, and the people of Georgia need someone who will be a voice for them in the Senate. I'm honored to do that work, and I'm really looking forward to this conversation. Again, the difference between me and my opponent couldn't be more stark. He has said that he is opposed to reproductive choice. and that there are no exceptions. No exceptions. I happen to think that a patient's room is too small and cramped a space for a woman, her doctor, and the United States government.
Amen.
If you believe in no exceptions and that we should put health care in the hands of politicians rather than women and their doctors, then he's your choice. But I totally disagree with that, and I look forward to us having that conversation.
Well, Rev, before I let you go, we do have some questions from our listeners because we are live as well. We stream live as well as on the radio. We have someone named David Frazier who says, if someone wants to campaign for you, where do they start?
Oh, they should go to warnockforgeorgia.com.
All right, y'all hear that? You need to go to warnockforgeorgia.com.
That's correct.
I'm a little bit nervous, and I'm okay with being honest about that. It's an absolute honor to talk to you, so I'm very grateful and thankful.
No, thank you so very much, and thank you for getting this message out to your audience, particularly our young people. In every great movement in our country, young people have been at the forefront.
Awesome.
And so we're counting on your voice.
Thank you so much. And hopefully we can have you in studio soon.
That'll be great.
All right.
Take care. Make it a great week.
Awesome. You have a wonderful day.
Bye-bye.
Thank you very much.